Hello guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to talk about why I've decided to think about building our retirement home back in Zimbabwe. Why all of a sudden, after living in diaspora for the past 20 years, it's been a journey, since we moved from Zimbabwe. I left home in my early 20s and I was a young wife with one child, full of ambition and hope for a better life. Like many years ago. Happy Easter to everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank everyone who is following me, and as I continue to share my journey with everyone. It's been a pleasure. Some people, they've been sending messages encouraging me, sending suggestions. I do appreciate, for what you are doing. So my journey, the reason why I've decided to, all of a sudden to start to think that I have to, go back home and retire with my family. As I said before, that when I moved from Zimbabwe, I was very young, full of energy and everything. But and I've worked so hard, throughout my whole entire life, and I would like to go back home and retire whilst I'm still, strong, so that I can actually enjoy, life, enjoy the fruits of my labor. So when I moved back home, when I moved from home, from Zimbabwe to where I am right now, I know some of you would like to know where I am, but I will. In my next video, I'll talk about where I am right now, and I'll be sharing more of my life in diaspora as well. So just be patient with me. So when I moved years ago, I was still very young, and I was very busy. I was working, and I had to go through some education, upgrading myself, and I was always thinking about constant self-improvement, in my career. And life was busy, and I was raising, growing a family as well, juggling multiple roles. So though we managed to achieve a lot raising our children, some of whom are now in university, securing a home, we secured a home for them where I am. We've done, lots of things, investments, building stability. But something was always, I always felt like I was missing something, and the hardest part of living in the diaspora was being far away from family. Traveling back home wasn't easy at all. It wasn't affordable, especially as our family grew. At best, we could only manage to visit, back home maybe after 5 to 6 years, which wasn't really a good thing, to connect with family. We end up losing connection with family, friends, and parents. We actually try to bridge that gap, especially with parents, by inviting our parents over whenever we could, so that they could spend time with the grandkids, which was really good for my kids, because they managed to grow up knowing their grandparents. But that wasn't enough, because each time they come, when they leave, my kids, they'll be crying, and I also will be crying as well, because I'll end up missing them. But you know what? Nothing replaces the warmth of being home. The familiar air, the familiar, the familiar things. Where you were born, where you grew up with. It's different from my kids right now. Like when I tell them that I want to go home and retire back home, they don't understand. They'll be like, they don't really understand. They'll be like asking me questions to say, well, why do you want to go? You have everything. You have a home here. You have. They don't understand, because to them, here, that's where everything is for them. They know this place more than me. So it's really hard, especially if you have grown-up kids. I have kids that are now in university. uh they laugh at me, they just say, oh, embrace whatever is going on, embrace the environment that you are. But I just miss home. I just want to go back home, unfortunately. And so life took a painful turn. About 3 years ago, we began losing our parents. I lost my father, and I lost my mother-in-law due to sudden illness, and that was the most the most hardest thing that actually happened in my life. We had actually lost, there was actually, it was a long time since we had actually seen them. So losing them like that, it really hit hard, as well in my life. And the grief, it stuck deeply, and it actually forced me to shift, a perspective, along, my life journey. And though I had an opportunity to travel back home to go and bury them, but it wasn't the same, because I started thinking, to say, what if I was home all along? I could have done things with them. I could have created memories with them, but I don't have memories actually, with them back home. The only memories that I have, I'm grateful, to God that, He gave me gave me the opportunity to bring them here and there here. But look, when they come to diaspora, we are always busy as well, we are always working, coming back home, we go to work. We don't spend much time with them as well. Most of the time they spend their time at home. The kids, they're at school and they still spend their time alone at home. We don't have time for them as well. So it did make a difference in the sense that, they are close, but we didn't even have the time, to be together, to do things together. That's the painful thing. And so the reason why I have decided to say now this is the time is because I visited home last year in December, last year in July, sometime around July, I visited home, and I said to myself, look, I have my mother. My mother is still there. My father-in-law is still there. So I said to myself, how about, if we start now, build something, come back home, so that we can visit more and have more time, with our parents, with the remaining living parents. I think that will make, a big difference. Yeah, so the whole family is actually excited about this decision, to build back home. I've been sharing videos and photos with them, and they're excited. And it's not just a retirement home, that we're building in Zimbabwe. It's about legacy, It's about giving my children a chance to experience the beauty, culture, and spirit of Zimbabwe firsthand, to show them where their story truly began, and also so that they can embrace, our country. I want them in the future, when I say, I'm going to live in Zimbabwe, they'll be able to, they'll be excited to come and visit me, and connect, with their culture, because I want them to know our culture as well, so that, they can carry the culture, to the future generations. Yeah, so this is my story of why I've decided to go back home. Have you ever felt that pull to return to your roots at all? Or dream about building something meaningful back home? Let's have this conversation in the comments below. I truly want to hear your thoughts, your journeys, and your dreams as well. And if this video has resonated with you, please like, subscribe, share with someone who might be in a similar path as me. I hope I have helped someone. Until next time, take care, and remember, sometimes going forward means going back to where it all began. Much love. Bye.